So you think you're gonna live your life alone, in darkness and seclusion. Yeah, I know. You've been out there and tried to mix with the animals, and it just left you full of humiliated confusion. But the feeling of loneliness never leaves you. It haunts you everywhere you go. And then you meet me, and your whole world changes. Because everything I say is everything you've ever wanted to hear. So you drop your defenses, and you drop all your fears. And you're so busy feeling good that you never question why things are going so well. You wanna know why? 'Cause I'm a liar! Yeah, I'm a liar! I'll tear your mind out, I'll burn your soul, I'll turn you into me, I'll turn you into me, 'cause I'm a liar, a liar, a liar, a liar. I'll hide behind a smile and understanding eyes. And I'll tell you things that you already know, so you can say, I really identify with you so much. I'll come to you like an affliction, but I'll leave you like an addiction. You'll never forget me. You wanna know why? 'Cause I'm a liar. Yeah, I'm a liar. I'll rip your mind out. I'll burn your soul. I'll turn you into me. I'll turn you into me. 'Cause I'm a liar, a liar. Liar, 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 liar. I don't know why I feel the need to lie and cause you so much pain. Maybe it's something inside, maybe it's something I can't explain. 'Cause all I do is mess you up and lie to you. I'm a liar. Oh, I'm a liar. But if you give me just one more chance, I swear I will never lie to you again. Because now I see the destructive power of a lie. They're stronger than truth. I can't believe I ever hurt you. I swear I will never lie to you again. Please, just give me one more chance. I will never lie to you again. No, I swear. I will never tell a lie. I will never tell a lie. No. No. Sucker! Sucker! Oh, sucker! I am a liar! Yeah!
Check, check, check.
I am a liar! Yeah! I like it! I feel good! Oh, I am a liar! Yeah! I lie! I lie! I lie! Oh, I lie! I'll lie again! And again! I'll lie again and again! And I'll keep lying! I promise.
Oh boy. Oh boy. What the last 24 hours. Oh, hold on. Yours truly isn't even on there. One second. Let me. There we are. Back at it. Back at another Saturday night. Here we go. Ducky Schmidt, Steve, Special Power, Drew. Vic was there. It's so funny. Vic like had messaged a couple of days ago, wondering what was going on. But it is another Saturday night here in Indianapolis. Wart, let's go. I just got back from Oktoberfest at German Park like a half an hour ago, but I had everything ready to go. I've been sitting on this for the last 12 hours, knew exactly what I wanted to say, and then like the last couple of hours, my temper really went up. And I'm basically just totally over Micah Beckwith now. I thought that he would take some accountability for what happened yesterday, which we're going to talk about here in a second. Turns out he won't. He refuses to. In fact, when you question him on things, he becomes a giant smartass. Whatever. Shocker. Couldn't believe it. Yeah, Indy reporter from here. We're going to clean this whole place up. By the way, and all 40,000 of those Haitians are getting the fuck out of here. So anyway, let's get into it. What happened yesterday? So Micah Beth, by the way, check out 2.0. Let me update this real quick. 2.8 impressions. Okay, now it's at 2.9 views now. Unbelievable. All right, so yesterday, Beckwith posted this on his Twitter. Yesterday, I sat with Haitian pastors from Marion County. Their people have endured earthquakes and violence, and now more than 40,000 are seeking asylum here in Indiana. We spoke about barriers of language and culture while also discussing the power of faith and family. What I saw was not community asking for a handout, but people determined to work hard, raise their children to become contributors to the great Hoosier state, and assimilate to the American way of life. First off, how many Haitians do you know of that have assimilated into the American culture, huh? Not many. I personally don't know any of them. All I know is a bunch of them that are looking for a handout. Education, Medicaid, food stamps, what calls you. So, obviously, he ends up getting, what time was that at? That was at 1:06 p.m. 5 hours later, about 5.5 hours later, he goes, if you know my stance on immigration, you should also know the sentiment behind this. I have said time and time again that our borders should be shut down, and we need the government to halt any more asylum seekers until we can get a handle on the current crisis. If people come in through the front door and legally enter the country with the intent to assimilate and raise their children as hardworking Americans, we should be open and helping to them. I am not advocating for us to have Haitians come to America or Indiana. I am saying that if Haitians come to our state, they must do it legally, learn English, and assimilate to our culture. He ends up putting out another one. Ultimately, advocating for firmness does not mean abandoning love. I was letting these pastors know that they have a responsibility to care for their own community. It's their job to do that. It's not our job to fund them. Okay, well, a lot to unpack there. But I would say, what happened last year? Because we decided to look it up. What happened in October of last year? He goes, Micah joined Kayla from Wow Wow to speak up about the Haitian migrant influx happening in Indiana, calling out local and state leaders for the silence. Wow. And then the following month, just less than a month for there, he goes, AG Todd Rokita is stepping up to protect Indiana's small towns from an influx of illegal immigration that threatens our community stability. His latest investigation into the surge of Haitian migrants is a bold move to ensure Hoosier safety and uphold the rule of law. Unfreaking believable. And I can't tell you what happened secretly today because I don't want to get in trouble, but when he was questioned about this, I brought up the fact that he needs to fire his whole team because obviously somebody is dropping the ball. He needs to lock in and focus what is getting put out there because this is the biggest L from Micah Beckwith. He is becoming the thing that he promised to fight against. And turns out he's just like every other establishment asshole. Wow, couldn't believe it. Funny enough, 2.9 million views. He is getting completely destroyed. 2.9 thousand quote tweets too. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're gonna shill for like some other race or culture, can you please not have it the people that eat the dogs and the cats? I mean, they're literally eating their own pets. They're having shish kebabs of cat in the front yard. All right, so to continue though, he posted this earlier that day talking about in Dearborn Heights, they're putting Arabic and the logo for the police sign. And I'm trying to figure out, is like, you're having a problem with this, but then you're meeting up with Haitians that are obviously do have nothing about wanting to assimilate to the American culture. In fact, it's quite the opposite. They're thinking to themselves, hey, you know, we want the voodoo. Hey, why do we need to do all this? We just want the money. We come here because it's the land of opportunity, man. And then what do? They don't give a shit. They're wanting to make sure that they get Medicaid. They want to make sure they get SNAP. They're wanting to make sure that they put their kid into public schooling. And then that public school has to figure out how to even communicate with them. Yeah, the kitchen and killing the ducks in Geese Parks. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of that going on. All right, so what happened after that? Well, the right wing caught onto it and absolutely had a field day with him. Oilfield Rando, popular right-wing account, goes be right back, submitting an application to Patriot Front. And then I think he had another one, though. No, he had another one. He had like two more. Where was it? Damn, he really posted a lot, didn't he? Yeah, we already talked about that. We're going to talk about... Okay, there was before that. All right, here. It cracks me up when normies are like, oh my God, Republicans are such extremists now. Nah, they really aren't. I am, though. And then, did you speak to them about how you'll be taxing American workers and hard hats and steel toes to pay for all their shit, Micah? Exactly. Exactly. And not only that, but these are like this is a culture of inbreeding, low IQ inbreeding, and you can call it racist all you want. Apparently, he's been asking people that too. Absolute bullshit. But it wasn't just him. Raw egg nationalist, your daily reminder that is the Republican Party without Trump. What remains of this party must be ruthlessly destroyed because it hates Americans and Americans, everybody. Here's the thing too. I saw a lot of people, Captive Dreamer, Aaron McIntyre. This was a big one. Steve Ducci. Okay, so Ducci makes a very good point on all this. And I saw the interview with Micah and Steve. I think it was like a couple of months ago. We recorded it or clipped it and put it on Indie Reporter. You can find it on there. But Steve goes, this guy asked me to come on my show for well over a year. We finally booked him as a positive example of Christian conservative leadership to our audience. That is the most important part. Christian conservative. Do you think a bunch of Haitians are thinking about Christian conservatism? I don't think so. He continues, I've been to Haiti. I've done ministry in Haiti. I've donated time and money to the people of Haiti, and I urge others to do the same if they have it. They are made in God's image, and their culture is deep in despair and in need of all the help it can get, which is precisely why it should never, ever be imported en masse to our country. I'm all for ministries helping Haiti all they can, but under no conditions should the American government be bringing Haiti in. And you know what? You can say that for a lot of cultures. You can say that for the Muslims. You can say that for the Hindus and the Sikhs and the Burmese and all of them. You could say the exact same thing because there has been no net positive unless you're treating America as an economic zone where all these billionaires are bringing in cheap labor, keeping the wages down for the American people. That's the only thing that they're looking at. How can I make money off of these people? Everybody else that's been here forever? Nah, we want to make sure that that our business is making money off of these people, off the cheap labor. All right, so Bill Melgoon, he goes, Indiana's Republican lieutenant governor shuts comments off after this post. Okay, first off, that actually, yeah, good call, Amber. I think I have Cernovich on here too. Because, yeah, right here. Indiana, oh my God, I haven't seen this one. Indiana has a new mayor, Pete, except this one put on a skin suit of a Republican, became lieutenant governor. Oh my God, that's so true. Oh man, he had posted one earlier too about how do you feel about 40,000? Yeah, Will Tanner, Daniel Turner. I mean, Micah, God, Aaron Wren. Yeah, this is very important. Aaron Wren's silence on this speaks volumes. Now, this is very important because Aaron Wren claims to be a conservative. I consider him as a Hamilton County elitist personally. I think he's just another douchebag in a skin suit. Where was the original one? Because he goes, yeah, Indiana, are you ready for 40,000 Haitians? Unfreaking believable. Okay, so I want to go back to this one though. Now, this has been going through all of the comments saying, Oh my God, he has the comments off. I can't believe it. Pussy, look at this chicken shit. Oh yeah, how do you like getting mogged, huh? Yeah, that's what I thought, son. Now you're gonna turn off comments? Mike, this account has had the comments turned off since day one. Okay, everybody. So before you start flipping your shit about how he turned off comments, it's been that way. Steve, I agree with that, Steve. But everybody will say that he is a conservative. I have no idea why. And I've gotten into it with him too. He's all right, let's just look at Ren. Oh, there he is. He's all about like urban planning, it feels like. Yeah, the fam is getting some goodness in Sheridan, Indiana tonight while I'm on a plane. The guy travels all over a place from what it looks like. Yeah, while the North Dallas suburbs are massively more advanced as a business destination, as an advanced business for Carmel, I didn't notice that they had appreciable better amenities. And this is what he keeps doing. This is where I keep calling him a Hamilton County elitist. He had brought up a picture of like a KFC in Brick. And he's like, this is Carmel, basically like, this is Carmel, Indiana. It's like they have a brick building, a fast food that's in brick building. Do you know why they have it that way? Because if that place goes out of business, you can just bring in another one without changing the entire culture. You're seeing this with Taco Bells. You're seeing it with Burger Kings. All these places that are former fast food joints, they're just saying, you know what? Let's put a plain Jane brick building in here, and then in the signage and the logo, that's where we'll get special. Anyway, so I wanted to point this out too. I went on a Chat GPT, take it for what it's worth, obviously. I go, besides Medicaid, what else do asylum seekers get in the U.S.? They go, good question, good question. While an asylum application is pending, no federal cash assistance or SNAP, unless they qualify under some other status, e.g. if they have a U.S. citizen children. That is so important. That's when we talk about anchor babies, emergency Medicaid only, schooling for children. Wow, what I just said, work authorization, EAD. Do you remember a certain Indian that talked about getting an EAD? Raju? Yeah, he talked about work permits, EAD specifically, and H-1Bs. Some local state programs, nonprofit charity support. Now, I do remember going to a refugee or Exodus refugee meeting like last year. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to listen out. I'm going to listen up for these people. Maybe there's something good on here. Maybe I got this thing all wrong. So I'm listening to it. I'm listening to all these boomers, all these liberal women boomers talk about how we need to give more money to these people. Not just like, no. How about no? And then you go and check out their nonprofit and they're getting government money. So your government money is funding these people. And so that went deeper into it, into the conversation. And they talked about how they're getting, like, I don't know if it was $400 a month or $400 at that time, but they're also getting housing. So when we talk about like why apartments are way more expensive, well, that's because these refugees or asylum seekers or illegals, they already getting taxpayer funded dollars to them. And the apartment complex, like, hey, I'm already getting guaranteed money. I might as well just shoot up the rent. That's exactly why. That's another reason why college is more expensive, because they're guaranteed federal dollars anyway. All right. So after getting granted asylum, what do they get? Refugee cash assistance. Wow. Refugee medical assistance. Wow. SNAP and TAP, Medicaid and CHIP, refugee support, supplemental security income, work authorization, pathway to permanent residence. These people are taken care of better than the American citizens, and we're funding all of it. And this is about the 40,000 Haitians that Micah was like, hey, you know what, Indiana? Hey, what's another 40,000 migrants, huh? Hey, listen, I was talking about that last year, but guess what? I had an election to run. You know, this whole thing that I've been doing for the last 2 years where I'm saying, you know what? We really got to worry about Hoosiers and property taxes and these migrants and the rule of law. And then what ends up happening, flips the switch. Quiet on property taxes, shilling for SMRs, quiet about data centers, by the way. Not talking about any of that for some reason. Hey, why don't I just go into all these town halls, go and pretend to be Charlie Kirk, get and try to own the libs, because we know that's the whole goal. Hey, guess what? I would really love for you to fight for what you promised you were going to do instead of shilling for Braun and SMRs and just going whatever the establishment paperwork is given to you. Hey, here's a marketing piece. Just say that. Hey, Micah, just shut up. We'll let you have your fun at the town halls with your taxpayer-funded Tahoe, with your taxpayer-funded people. We're going to make sure that you can just do and have fun with that, all right? Everything else, just pipe down. We're going to castrate you. We're going to give the AG to somebody else. No big deal. When you get the memo that you should be talking about how proud you are about giving money to certain communities, we'll let you know, all right? Go have fun in Poland. But not only that, but then we look at the average IQ by country. You know what's really funny about this? I tried finding what the average IQ was in Haiti, and it's not there. Right next door to Dominican Republic, 90. Cuba, 96. I don't know how accurate these numbers are, by the way. Actually, you know what? Let's see if I can find another one while we're here. Where is it? World data? Can I do it by this? Interactive map. All right. Hey, nothing for, okay, Cuba, Haiti, 80. Okay, see, this is what I mean. Well, look for Haiti. There's no average IQ of Haiti, which I thought was really weird. So you know what? I just duck-goat it. Hey, what is the average IQ of Haiti? Take it for what it's worth. 60. Haiti has an average IQ of 60, which has been widely criticized for its methodical flaws and potential biases in data collection. Really? I don't know. Hey, do you know that you should not be raping women? That's all I'm saying. When you have to put signs out there that are in English, hey, don't assault women. Try and like not poop on the ground, and also don't steal the wildlife so you can eat them. We'd really appreciate it if you can do that. Yeah, total corruption in those countries. Well said, Mad Duck. Total corruption in those areas. Do you remember barbecue? Hold on. Do you guys remember barbecue in Haiti? The cannibal? Yeah, Haitian gang. Yeah, there's an actual wiki page on him. Take it for what it's worth. Yeah, Haitian revolutionary and political leader reputed gang. Wasn't he a cannibal? U.S. indicts Haitian gang. This was 25 days ago. U.S. offers $5 million reward for arrest of a gang leader. But these are the people running the country. It's not only just corrupt, but it's crazy dangerous too. All right, but then so I wanted to know, what was the average IQ of someone with Down syndrome? I know, be mad all you want. I don't care. It turns out it's 50. I thought it was 55 personally. So, you know, these people aren't much smarter than someone with Down syndrome. But it's not just that. I talked about the inbreeding. I found a PubMed back from 2015, inbreeding among Caribbean Hispanics from the Dominican Republic and its risk of Alzheimer's. Was this Haiti? No, crap. I thought this was Haiti. It would be considered the Dominican Republic, though, right? I don't know. Anyway, the average inbreeding coefficient of this population is significantly higher than that of the general Caucasian populations in North America. I thought I found something. Inbreeding. Haitian. There's an inbreeding by population, right? Let's see what we got here. Holy shit. Dude, Africa is just like an inbreeding hellhole. Holy shit. 50% of Sudan is inbred. Holy shit. Boy, did we find a gold mine. Dude, there's like a whole bunch of like brother sister fucking over here. Libya, Guinea, Pakistan. Holy jeez. I mean, we all kind of knew this, that they're all... Is the Congo on here? Where's the Congo at? Congo is like the rape capital of the world. Okay. I don't see it. Saudi Arabia, 38. Yemen. Of course, the Middle East are like fucking each other. Okay, so Haiti doesn't even have it. That's pretty crazy, though. Not gonna lie, that's pretty crazy. Let's see. 15. Oh, the white warlords of Haiti's real curse. Oh my God, you're really gonna say? Hold on. Oh, hold on. What do we got here, boys? Okay. There exists a numerical, minuscule, but economically powerful set of inbreeding oligarch families in Haiti who are not descendants of deported and enslaved Africans, like 90%. Okay. You're saying all the rulers of Haiti are... Oh, that's so funny. White warlords are Haiti's real course. Okay. Okay, lib shit. Eat it! Eat it! Anyway. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with the whole Micah thing. I couldn't believe it. So some people in the chat right now know what I'm talking about, but you haven't seen anything from Aaron Rand. You haven't seen anything from Micah. Actually, does Micah have his... yeah, he hasn't said anything. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, that's just a retweet. Okay, oh, that's what I want to do. I want to go through some of the... yeah, I want to go through some of the quote tweets. Because some of them are crazy. Yeah, Patrick Casey from Howling Mutant. There's a bad element that immigrates to this country that are criminals, gang members, etc. And obviously we don't want them. But there are a lot of hardworking, decent immigrants just looking for a better life. We don't want them either. Well said. Well said. Super Balls Larry. People from some... Oh, this is funny. People from some random island thousands of miles away. Your actual neighbor. Love thy neighbor. So true. It's just weaponized. It's weaponized empathy is what it is. I mean, some of these accounts, too. Over 500,000 from that. And I'm looking at the views and the impressions. Some of them are higher. Yeah, Aaron McIntyre. Where is it? There's another one. Yeah, Christian Heens. He's got 62,000, 34,000 impressions. Crusader Peppy with 17,000. And this is where we have to be careful. This is where we absolutely have to start being more and more careful with people that we consider that are on our side. There has to be way more vetting. First, we got duped with Diego. I feel like we got duped with Dan Elliott. We knew Elise Nishala is basically a robot for the Hamilton County. And then we have, and then it ends with Micah. The guy that we thought was supposed to change everything. The guy that we thought was supposed to go to bat for the grassroots people. And the problem is, all these boomer cons are going to be like, yeah, but you know what? This is what he meant. This is what he truly meant. And Micah wants to use the excuse that, well, you know what? My comms person is the one that wrote that up. And, you know, why aren't you double checking anything? That's what I want to know. If you are my representative, if you are my communications person, you're supposed to run everything by me. Like, where is the proofreading? Because unless it did go through him and Micah said, you know what? Good enough. I like it. Ship it. Send it. No flub. Send it. Let's see here. 24,000. Holy shit. This one's got, oh yeah, John Jackson. John Jackson was a big one. Over 500,000 views on this already. Grumpy Hermit. Have him arrested. Let that ICE know. And this is where, you know, I make this joke, but I'm like entirely half kidding. But you can't trust Micah anymore. And the problem is, and I put this up on Facebook earlier. Because all of you guys, if you don't know by now, I run the Facebook account. I don't run the Twitter account. But I posted up on Facebook was, crap, I actually forgot what I posted on Facebook. Is that this, oh yeah, this kind of issue or this kind of, you know, backstabbing, you can call him Benedict Beckwith, you can call him backstabbing Beckwith, you can call him bullshit Beckwith. Well, this is the kind of stuff that gives Republicans apathy for any kind of voting. And this is what will help turn Indiana blue. I had made a joke about it like a couple of months ago, maybe even a year ago, when I said, you know, I feel like Diego is the op that will help turn Indiana blue because he's such a terrible Secretary of State and such a terrible human that people are going to just try and find the opposite of that. The problem is that you can't vote for Democrats because they'll just open up the floodgates and they'll just allow all these people to rape your daughters and boys. And the problem is, where do we stand? And I've had this argument so many times. When I hear people on the internet, on social media saying, you know what, we the people just need to stand up. Really? Because what are you doing exactly? And all these people are like, well, you know what, we just not need to show them about the Constitution. Really? You're going to be like, hey, you know what, I got the Constitution right here. The Constitution says you can't do it. Really? You think you can negotiate with these animals, the same people that want to throw you in jail and dismember your children? You think you can have an argument about the Constitution with these people? No, they'll totally they'll arrest you. They'll send your children to some gay foster home to have them raped and put on porn sites. You can't negotiate with these people. The best thing that you can do is make fun of them on the internet, because they all hate criticism, and Micah Beckwith is definitely one of them. They cannot handle being made fun of. The issue with is, yeah, I don't understand. He chose. Yeah, I don't understand it either, John. I do not understand where somebody was like, you know what? I like this. I like this tweet. This totally makes sense. Instead of just saying, of trying to find this mental gymnast of posting it, don't even post it. Because people in the right wing, the people that supported him and went to bat for him and endorsed him, are looking at that tweet and saying, what the fuck are you doing? Why do you think you can negotiate with Haitians and say, hey, you need some accountability? Really? Look where they came from. And this is I say the same thing about Indians. The same thing I'll be meeting with Sid next week. And it's the same thing. He brags about how great India is, but then you have a massive influx of Indians coming to North America. You don't see a whole bunch of North Americans going into that shithole where they have massive amounts of diarrhea all over the ground. No, thank you. Oh, by the way, why don't you Google India gang rapes, and then you compare it to American gang rapes, and you're going to see a massive difference, especially with the culture. Dude, they have signs everywhere saying not to molest or assault women because their culture is so fucked up. Same thing with the Haitian culture. Yeah, you know what? Okay, so I have yeah, Brad, I completely agree. That's kind of my point. Well, we just looked at the Muslim countries. And and the problem is, like, they breed often. And who's paying for all of that? We are. I mean, that's part of the reason, by the way, that's part of the reason why Wayne Township lost their ambulance, the emergency services through the ambulance, is because a portion of what is going through the hospital is paid through that fund. And you have all these illegals, especially in Wayne Township, that obviously don't have any insurance. And so who has to fund that? The taxpayers do. So you are having a negative with these people coming into this country. And I don't know what to do, to be honest with you. I don't know what to do. All I know is what I can do, which is call these people out on Twitter, on Facebook, on social media. Any chance that they are giving a town hall, you call them out on it. The problem is, like a Micah Beckwith town hall, it's all filled with lunatic liberals that care more about cutting up children and killing babies, and illegals too. Everybody on the left is like, they get half chubbed thinking about, oh boy, yeah, I saved that one illegal, and don't you worry, I'm totally happy with paying for all of his benefits. It's totally crazy, and I don't know what to do. His whole team is totally goofing off. I think Omar blocked me on Facebook. I think he blocked Indie Reporter on Facebook too, because I tried finding something on Omar's page and I couldn't find it. And it's going to be October in a few. What is it? It's September, first weekend of September. And this is the time where we have to start coming up with a game plan of how to replace these people. The problems that we're going to come into are establishment Republicans and boomer conservatives who are just like, yo, man, they're basically like liberal light, though, these boomer conservatives. And they just want to be part of the club. And you can see it with all these grassroots people. That's the funniest part about it. You see it with the people that went to go meet up with Braun. You see it with the people that are like protecting Braun. And I'm not saying all of them. And maybe some of them were just going in there to get intel. Well, we have to be careful of who we should and shouldn't be trusting. Like Sid is a perfect example of that. And what shit? Yeah, you know, my theory. I'm okay with Shelton, with David Shelton. Let me go back before though. The problem is with the boomer cons is that no matter how much data that you give them, they'll never change their mind. And the boomer cons would have voted, are basically voted for a Holly Sullivan. They would vote for them, and then everybody voted for Diego because there was an anti-Holcomb vote. And this is where we've gotten. You know, and I saw somebody in the chat talking about how Dave or what the hell, Dave Elliott? No, Dan Elliott has like is spending money on Israeli bonds, which I don't know why. I mean, I know we all know why he's doing that, but you know, that's not a big fan of some of the right wingers. Definitely not a fan. The left is not a fan of it. People on the right are not a fan of it. But like, I understand why he's doing it. But then you have, I don't know about Shelton being based. He's not based. No, Shelton's definitely not based. I think he's a great administrator. I think he is a great investigator. I think he'll do a much better job than Diego. I just don't think he understands of how bad it is because he doesn't live in Marion County. And this is the argument that I have. You know, I did the Whitmer walk. Do you guys know what the Whitmer walk is? It's basically like an Irish goodbye, but you're talking to somebody and they're sounding so dumb and where they don't get it that you just walk away. That's a Whitmer walk. And I did that at the Indie Defenders meeting. There was this Boone County wine mom telling me, well, all you have to do, I was explaining to them like how bad the Marion County GOP is. And they're like, you just have to fix it. And I just like, oh, okay, that's your brain. Okay. And I just walked away. I was like, oh, okay, I just have to fix it. No big deal. I just grab my magic fucking wand and go poof. People aren't dumb anymore. Oh, poof. We don't have any more establishment dickholes anymore. Perfect. Yeah, that's really going to solve everything. No, because when the machine runs and appoints 300 people to make sure that their person becomes Marion County chair, that's a big problem. How are you supposed to go poof? We can just fix it. If you change the rules where only elected people are allowed to vote, that's the only way to fix it. But you're also dealing with the machine. You're also dealing with the uniparty. Yeah, I know. We tried to fix it. We tried to fix it, and it did not work. We try, and this is why I always say, we got to stop taking the high road. We cannot negotiate with these monsters anymore and these maniacs anymore, the lobbyists. And, you know, my biggest worry is the people that we trust now in a couple of years, they'll just turn into another Diego or another Micah, all the people that might even be in the upper tier of the trust chart. And that's basically, yeah, my biggest worry, that eventually they will turn. Not, you know, that's why, and I encourage all of you to play the boxing method, or the trust circle. That is where I encourage all of you to do. When you're watching a boxing match or an MMA match and they're pawing, you know what they're doing? They're checking their reach. And what you're wanting to do is make sure that they're just out of your reach, or you're not trusting them. They're not in your zone, basically, of like, you're just making sure that they're out of reach of your trust, that you're okay of questioning them, because it's okay to criticize people in your own party. And when you start criticizing them, and then people start coming off from the woodwork and be like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, huh? I have my own way of fighting them. I'm burning the whole thing down, okay? I am pure Samson option right now. On March 1st, whenever John lost, I said, I am going full Samson option. That is all I'm doing. I am done with the Republican Party. They offer nothing anymore. It is purely there for all their lobbyist people, all their establishment people. They offer nothing for the normies. They offer nothing for the taxpayers, except, hey, you know what? Let's make sure we keep Hogsett happy, because we don't want to have any problems with Hogsett, because apparently he runs Indianapolis. Now we're watching Rome burn on Wi-Fi, basically. I mean, that's basically where we're at. And I don't know, the Indy's base is lost. There's no fixing Indy. all we can do is have fun with the end of Rome. All we can do is get revenge. What did I say on that night when I had the show? What was it, March 1st or March 3rd? I said the time for revenge is at hand. And that's what we have to do. All we can do is make fun of these people, primary all of them, except for Josh Bain. Primary Michael Paul Hart, primary Cahill, Mowry, N.A., Mike Dilk, and make sure that we have based people that actually understand it. Otherwise, I'm just going to make sure I'm not even going to help them. If you're not, this is where we have to draw the line. There are lines in the sand right now. If you're running to primary somebody, I will help you if you're based. If you're not based, I will just help the Democrat. Because if you're just going to be the same guy, but with a different face on, what does it even matter anymore? That's my point. In Indianapolis, anyway. I mean, Hendricks County is almost cooked. Hamilton County, rip. And I make this joke, but I'm like half serious. I think that Braun is in there to help turn Indiana blue. I think every single elected official in there does not care if Indiana turns blue. Otherwise, they would be fighting in the proper way, not doing these own the lib town halls. And by the way, he's never been to Marion County. Diego's obviously is totally a schmuck. Tyler, I'm talking to you. You better be you better be based. I'm not getting an iPhone, by the way. That's totally establishment talk. No iPhone for me. Pike Township is what are you talking about? The lawsuit or the fact? Okay, Pike Township is fascinating right now because they're under a lawsuit against, somebody. Also, they didn't show up to last month's advisory board meeting, which is really funny because it's not going to be Mowry, John. They had, and it was the budget. The budget was being introduced last month, and they had to talk about it. And I think they have until the end of the month or end of next month to approve it. But you have to have all these changes going on. It was really funny. One of the people that are on there, I think, is Carlos Perkins' wife, Dr. Carlos Perkins, the doctor of ministry. I think her name is Kara Perkins in Pike Township. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Where the hell is her name at? Oh yeah, Kenya Perkins. That's who it was. Oh, by the way, didn't even put up a picture. Everybody else. Oh, Dimitri. Oh, that's so funny. Hicks wasn't there either, and Claudette Peterson. There was I think it was only Ashley Hogue, and I think 3 of the people didn't show up. Demetrius was a Robin Shackelford helper. That's really funny. I think he was one of the people. I'm not convinced. I think Braun. Yeah, Braun's gonna run. Yeah, I think so. He's not gonna win president. He's not gonna win the primary. Everybody knows Vance is gonna be in there. Oh, he's gonna win the primary, and I don't trust him at all either. He's another Peter Thiel shield. All right, so the going forward though with this. Speaking of what you might expect, if you guys remember this, authorities released the footage of a Ukrainian refugee, a real refugee, getting stabbed in the throat in a random attack by a career criminal. Okay, so here's the career criminal right there. Here's the that girl right there. And what she doesn't know is you have to have your head on a swivel whenever you're around. Basically, you have to have your head on a swivel. All right. Oh, you can't even see it. You cannot have your back turned at all. And then he just stabs her in the throat, stabs the shit out of her. And look, now he's walking around with a knife that's covered in blood and is dripping everywhere. And, this is why, hey, guess what? Public transportation, by the way. This is why you always have to have your head on a swivel. And this is why public transportation is dangerous. Remember in Indianapolis where that homeless dude set it on fire and that bus is like $1 million? Thank you, taxpayers. So yeah, it's horrible, and nobody noticed. No, nobody noticed, which was crazy. There was one guy I think that saw it. Yeah, all of a sudden you see a bunch of blood dripping from this guy's hand. It's like, hey, that's no big deal. What's the big deal? There was one guy, I think, who tried rendering aid to the girl, but, you know, she obviously lost blood too fast. She probably died within a couple of minutes, if that. No, the Whitmer walk is when you're talking to somebody and you realize they're such a dope that there's no point in even talking to them. So you just walk away mid-conversation. That's what I did. That's what I did talking to the Boone County wine mom. Like, oh, poof, hey, you know what? Just fix the Indianapolis GOP. I'm sure you just wave your magic wand and everything will be just fine. Okay, crazy lady. All right, so do you guys remember that Cincinnati where the white people got beat up by the blacks? Well, the black community leaders call on the Cincinnati to charge the white victim of the downtown attack, the white incited.
Serious questions as to whether there's bias involved in the investigation.
Yeah, fuck public transportation. Walk. If you want, hey, you want me to tell you the history of Indigo in Indianapolis? It was never taxpayer funded until the 70s or until like the 60s. They ran out of money. And you know why? Because cars were so cheap that everybody were like, probably like, I don't want to be on the bus with these assholes. I want to be able to be in my box. I don't want to have to worry about anything. I don't want to have to smell anybody. I don't want to have to hear anybody. I'm just going to drive home in my box. And I get the freedom to roam around wherever I want. The problem is with Indigo, it's gotten so bloated, especially with these executive salaries. Here, let me show you something. You know what? Let me show you something, Brad. Since you don't live in Marion County, yeah, you don't even live in Marion County. What are you talking about? By the way, we had to block you for a day because you were getting a little out of hand. What is it? Open the books. Open the book. Yeah, there we go. I want to show you guys something. How ridiculous these executives are getting paid. Oh, there's Indigo. All right. This is from Open the Books. This is all the sellers. Look at that. Inez Evans, $631,000 that she was paid in 2024. You want to know what's really funny? She did not even work for Indigo in 2024. She resigned at the end of 2023. That's how crazy. And then look at this. And her replacement, Jennifer Perez, is making $327,000. And she became CEO, I think, like halfway through 2024. Let's just look of how much money these people are getting paid. And by the way, I think this week, the Indigo budget is being introduced. All these people. And by the way, ask anybody that goes through downtown, when you see an Indigo bus, of how many people are filled with it. I've been saying this since day one. If you can track of how many people are on the bus, that means you can build an algorithm of which bus you should have on there. Hey, in the morning during rush hour, we should have the long bus. In the middle of the day where there's nothing going on, we should have the short bus. Literally that simple. We don't need an electric bus either. That, by the way, do you remember when it got destroyed, the road, damages road in downtown? Where was it? Because it was too heavy. Yeah, okay, Brad. See, we can agree with that. Yes, all of them should have a 10% salary decrease. You know what? As much as I agree with you, I think there should just be a 5-year freeze. I'm okay with that. I'm not about, hey, like you know, the hardcore of me is like, yeah, fuck them all. But at the same time, it's like, how about we just freeze their salary? If you're making 300, where is it? Jennifer Price. Yeah, $327,000. I think you can be on a pay freeze for a couple of years. I think you'll be just fine. What is this? Jury issue. When was that? Jury issue 6 million against Indigo for running over man at bus stop. Holy shit. Oh, he was trying to get on the bus. He ran him over in 2018. Oh, then he died 2 weeks later. Holy jeez. That's incredible. That's terrible. But anyway, ended up being when they were trying to, I think it was a battery bus. It was too heavy and it damaged the road. So they had to fix this section of the road because they didn't plan on how heavy it was. All right. So speaking of bringing Haitians into the U.S. Hey, you know, we're just trying to help out. You know, we're a net positive for America. But an escalator, what is this? What is this devil? The escalator is the devil. Yeah, they don't know how the escalators work. Seems like one of the least persuasive arguments against immigrants one might make. Somebody send that over to Micah, okay? Send it over, tag him. Hey, Micah, what do you think about this right now? All right, so speaking of it, this might be one of my favorite videos.
Trust black women, they lead the way. White women.
By the way, that girl has a baby. She's holding a baby right there, and she's getting a fight. Same thing that happened during that Walmart video. Lady was holding a baby while she was trying to get in a fight with somebody. Yeah.
Sit the fuck down. Shut the fuck up. You heard me the first time.
Oh my God, please!
Stop fucking calling me, nigga. Nigga.
Back off.
Shut up, bitch.
Yeah, that's what you get. That's why you got to have your head on a swivel. All right, so we got like 2 more things, and then we're gonna watch the city council video. Oh, I know. Well, I'm not touching anybody's hand. I don't know where they've had that hand, by the way. Yeah, 38th Street is going to become a problem. Washington is going to become a problem. All right, so I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but this lady during the Phillies game, I think it was last night, there was a home run, and there were like a couple of people fighting for the ball. The dad gets the ball and gives it to his kid. This lady comes over to the dad and starts screaming at the dad about, I had that ball. That was my ball. And Brad, I think you know what the rules are at a baseball game. Ownership of a ball must immediately be transferred to a child of speaking age in the vicinity, should they be within 3 seats in the same row or 2 seats in the row directly above and below you. In 2A, in the case of multiple children, the hierarchy of transference is as follows. Family, parents' choice. Youngest with a glove if tied. Youngest with home team apparel is tied. Oh, I know, Brad, right? I think we can all agree, like, this lady needs to be banned from baseball games. And unfortunately, they say that they found her, but I don't think they actually found her. I think they just found some poor lip shit. And they just started blasting her. I want to see if I could find the video. What do they call her? Philly DeVilly? Oh, it's like Carilla DeVille. Oh no, that's actually from like France. Oh, Felipe. It would have been funny if they did that. Yeah, Karen. Philly's Karen. All right. All right, so you see, they're going for the ball right here. This guy right here, he runs. She's trying to go for it. Homeboy over here in the red, he grabs onto it. And then what ends up happening? He's like, hey, kiddo, I got you a ball. Thanks, Dad. You're the best. And then this crazy broad in the skunk hair work, she goes, hey, mister, that's my ball. Look, and she's like, what the crap? Like that, yeah, it's my ball. I get the ball. It's my ball. And he's like, you know what? Here's the ball. Here, give me the ball. Here you go. Now fuck off. That's what happened, basically. And She ends up giving everybody the finger. There was a nice thing that happened. I think the Phillies and the guy that actually hit the home run, he got a bag of goodies, and I think he got a bat and taken a picture of, and everything. Oh, they actually find her? Leslie Ann Kravitz. I don't know if that's actually her. But they thought it was this Cheryl Richardson Wagner, but I think is that who it was? Leslie Ann Kravitz. Let's do a little internet. I don't think that's her, bros. Yeah, I don't think that's her. That does not look like her. All right, so they got the wrong person again. Wonderful. That's just awesome. So yeah. So he ends up getting a baseball or a bat and everything from Harrison Bader. Also, he got a little goodie bag. Based, totally based. The Marlins so it's from the Marlins. They stepped up with a gift package, and the Phillies Bader hooked him up with a signed ball. Now that Karen looks like an even bigger piece of shit. Man, this is why liberals ruin everything. It is terrible. All right, so moving on of liberals ruining everything. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, right. It's not her at all. So, boys, we got another sextortionist. Targets Indiana state lawmaker with digitally altered image. Someone digitally altered a photo of Democratic state rep Maureen Bauer without her consent in an attempt to harass and intimidate her. First off, who in their right mind is doing like a sextortion with this greasy pig? That's what I want to know. If you're going to do that, you got to do it with a fine honey. All right. There are better women in the IGA that are better looking than her. If that's what your scumbag move is going to do, at least do it with a better looking legislator. All right. So a criminal investigation is underway after an Indiana state rep became the recent target of attempted sextortion. Someone digitally altered a photo of Maureen Bauer without her consent in an attempt to harass and intimidate her. Bauer's press secretary, who represents South Bend, got an email just 2 days ago about an image that has made its way onto 4 platforms. Now, what did they do? That's what I would like to know. Did they take this picture and then they like photoshopped her head on some like stripper or something? Or did they find a picture of her where like she's doing normal day-to-day stuff, and then they're like, hey, guess what? We're gonna put like a skinnier version with bigger tatas, but we're gonna put this greasy pig's head on it. Like, I don't know. That's the truth. Like, but you know, like I said, there could have been a much better person you could have done this for. You know, there's no way that I'm gonna throw away my life for that. Well, first off, it's a scumbag move to even do it, and second off, I would not be doing it with her. Pass. Pass. Okay. Guess what, boys? Look how many views I got. 630,000 on Indie Reporter on this video that I clipped, and then I added the John Cena thing. Over 12,000 likes and probably by now 1,500 comments on it. You guys remember this video, right? All right, let's just watch the video. Let me make sure I put the volume down because it is a little bit loud. This was from the surveillance footage when Micah Beckwith had his Newburgh town hall and 2 people got arrested. Now, I want to do a walkthrough of this because it's really, really funny. All right. Hold on. We got to do slow motion.
And his name is John C.
Hold on. We got to do this frame by frame. Lady comes walking by. I think she was telling Micah off. Boom. She's saying, hey, I don't know, or piggy. And then she pushes him. Hey, she pushed him. Look, hands on 5-0. Hey, you can't put hands on 12. We all know that. Moved him back a little bit. He goes, oh, you are about to squeal like a pig right now.
Name is John C.
Okay, so it's really funny. I mean, there's a lot of things going around in here. Let's go back. This guy right here, blue shirt right here with the yarmulke. He's walking in. He goes, "Hey, what's up? What's going on?" Watch blue shirt guy come in here. I'm gonna mute it. Hey, what's going on? Boom, right here. He goes, "Holy shit, what's going on here?" Photograph guy grabs blue shirt guy. "Hey, get out of the way. This is my time. I'm gonna be on National Geographic." Boom, get out of here. He freaks out. I don't know what to do. Okay. Here's the other part. Here's the other funny part right here. As soon as she gets tackled, there's a dude that comes back here. Watch. Guy in black shirt. He's like, oh my God, you're coming in there. Greg pulls right here. Micah Beckwith staff member elbows him a little bit. Maybe pushes away, but he's like, hey, no, you can't do that. 5-0 comes over. He's like, no, you can't do that. There's a lot of playing around here. She screams at everybody. We gotta watch the LeBron flop. The LeBron flop is probably my favorite, especially when we see it from the surveillance footage. Because people had a couple of different views of it. Here we go. Right here. All right, so here we go. Boom. Pushes. Hey. Oh, man. Instant regret. Oh, you're going to try and run away? I don't think so. Neck hold. Turn around. Bam. You. Right there. It was a hell of a takedown. And then this guy over here, we're calling him Fat Jesse Brown. Because he looks like Jesse Brown if he was inflated. Or should we just call him Fatter Jesse Brown? All right, so he's trying to be a tough guy, trying to help her out. She's hogtied right now in more ways than one. Okay, who's that hippie chick? Is that her right here? I think her name is Helpful Hippie. She tries to get around, and she's like, no, I can take a video. I don't know that. I'm just doing commentary right now. All right, I want to, okay, oh yeah, right here. This is the fun part. Another fun part. All right, she's getting wheeled out. We got photography right here. This guy right here, who's probably holding her purse, Fat Jesse Brown. He's trying to get lippy, by the way. Here, I think that's Helpful Hippie. So Fat Jesse Brown ends up like yelling at some dude, and then cop says, "No, that's not gonna happen." Shoves him against the wall. I mean, this is like a prison shower kind of stuff. Ask Gabe if this is what happened. He's in the clink right now. He's got him pressed against the wall. Perfect technique. He's got perfect wrist control right now. In and up. He's grabbing the cuffs. Right here. He's like, "You're coming with me, pal." Oh, I know. Billy's Karen. Like, what's going on here? Okay, now we got to watch the LeBron flop right here. I think this is Helpful Hippie. Anybody in the chat, can you confirm that for me? And he cops like, "Shut the fuck up." You're coming with me. So Fat Jesse Brown and the heifer are going with them to jail right now. And now pay attention to this skinny broad. And she's like, "Hey, you got to get out of my way." Blah, there's the flop. Watch the flop again. Can we, can we do this in slow motion? Playback speed. Yeah, let's do this in playback speed. We're doing it in 0.25. We're doing playback speed. Okay. Right here. He's like, cop saying, "Get out of my way. I'm coming," and move. Oh, look at that flop. Textbook flop. Couldn't get any better. She's squealing. All right, let's go back to normal playback speed right here. Now let's go back to instant replay. Blah, 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 blah. Ace Ventura joke. Only the real people know that one. Look at that. She just starts screaming. Blah, blah, blah. Look what you did. She gets up, no problem, by the way. In fact, Jesse Brown's having himself a problem. Bystander lawyer intervention. Yeah. Yeah. It's so good. So good. I loved it. You know, what do people expect? By the way, that lady, she's running for office and she's charged with a felony now. So there's no way that she's going to be able to run for office if she's actually convicted. You just got yourself a felony over what, by the way? By screaming at Micah Beckwith? What is wrong with you people? You can't act like an adult for 20 minutes, for an hour, however long it is. Go up there, ask your question, mog them a little bit, and then go back to your chair. You know nothing's going to be accomplished from it. Micah loves this kind of stuff. All you're doing is giving him fuel where he's like, ha, you know what? I bet Fox News is going to love me. Oh, by the way, there is no way now that Micah ever gets any kind of like Charlie Kirk job, any kind of Fox News job, any kind of commentator job. It is totally cooked for Micah. He will be a pastor for the rest of his days, and that is what he will be doing. Any kind of legitimacy, especially after all the right-wingers, Cernovich and Dici and Captive Dreamer, all of those people were like, no. What are you doing? 40,000 Haitians? Good luck. You know what? Good luck, Micah. Never gonna happen again. And it is kind of funny that Braun hasn't said anything. But Braun, I'm convinced now Braun doesn't care. All right, so funny. Okay, so update from a couple of hours ago. Internet connectivity in parts of Pakistan and India is degraded after subsea cable failures in the Red Sea. Apparently, the SMW4 and IMEWE systems near Jeddah are affected. These huge cables are carrying massive traffic between Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. It runs through Southeast Asia, Asia through India, Pakistan, Middle East, Egypt. Hey, guess what, boys? The scammers might be paused for a little bit, all right? I don't know about you, but I have been getting a massive amount of scam calls this week, and I have no idea why. I've never had this in my entire time that I've had this phone number. Thank you, whoever you are. You are a patriot. Yeah, you're getting a like for that one. Who will be responsible is a true hero and patriot. Indians are currently rubbing cow shit on it as their solution for everything. You know what? I'm going to ask Sid about that on Tuesday. Hey, Sid, from what I understand, you guys like rub cow dung all over your face and like layer your houses all around that. What's the deal with that? All right, so the time has come to watch a little bit of footage. Now, I think this is what I want to do because I was watching a little bit of it last night because I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to watch the entire hour and a half of this. We're not going to do that, all right? What we are going to do is watch like 5 or 10 minutes of it. And then what I want to do is that I want to go through mayors that have introduced their budget. We're only going to watch a couple of minutes of each one. And I want to watch the very first introduction of the budget when Hogsett was first elected. And then we're going to go to 2025 of the crowd because you're going to love it. You're going to love the difference between 2017 to 2025. How it's oh, man. How it was and how it's going. Is that how it goes? All right, let's watch this. Funny that they have music. And look at the quality of it. I want to shrink this. Hold on, I want to shrink this. This is worth shrinking.
I'm sorry to say...
Yeah, thanks for hanging out.
I'm sorry to say you'll have to go to work. It's that time. Everybody has to go to work.
Everybody has to go to
And
work.
we're going to start this evening with a prayer and a pledge of allegiance led by Councilor Bradford.
Dude, it looks like a 90s C-SPAN or like a 90s Weather Channel graphics.
Crab and Davis, if you please remain.
To be
okay.
Rennes this evening.
So obviously they didn't have TVs everywhere. You can tell by the computers. This was 1997, all right? And everybody just like clocked in. What do we have? Black, Borst, Boyd, Bradford, Brents, Cockrum, Coonrod, Am I saying that right? Coonrod, yeah. Curry, Dowden, Franklin, Gilmer, blah, 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 blah. Okay.
We have a quorum. Are there any guests or visitors to be recognized this evening? Ms. Williams?
Mr. Chairman, I have with me tonight Brown Bear. Brown Bear, when school started, became part of the kindergarten class of the Key Learning Community, which is IPS School 2. And if you've read to children or grandchildren recently, you'll know that Brown Bear has many adventures, and Brown Bear travels with various folks. Yesterday, he was at the Indianapolis Fire Department.
Yeah, we want to try and help you out as much as we can, Steve. Anybody that's putting stuff out there, we're going to retweet for sure.
And today he's having an adventure with us, or tonight. And so with your consent, we would like to make this bear an honorary member of this council and hope that he casts wise votes.
You've heard the motion. Is there a second? Discussion. All in favor, please say aye. Welcome, Brown Bear. He's the 30th vote tonight. I hope that his vote is bipartisan. I may assume it's bipartisan, right?
It'll be bipartisan. Maybe he can take Frank's vote.
Thank you. Any other?
Yeah, apparently they've always been cringe. I'm just saying. Oh, what do we got here? Our stormwater presentation. Let's just watch like 2 minutes of this. Look how, I mean, just the graphics are terrible.
Back to who calls the most and who they know that they're calling. Well, really, for a comprehensive stormwater system, master plan, and program, proactive stormwater maintenance is really a function of all three. It is performance-based, conditions-based, and complaint-based. It's the balance of those three that make an effective maintenance program.
We got ourselves a triangle, boys.
Components of a successful program are to identify and prioritize the problems. That's something that's lacking right now, is where are all the problems, what are the problems, and how much will it cost to fix those problems.
That seems like 101 kind of stuff.
Demonstrate to the public that their money is at work. Again, with momentum of a program, if you can gain public support for what you're doing, and they can see that someone's out there taking care of the problems on a daily basis, more than likely they're going to be behind whatever you're doing and see the need for what you're doing. Need to develop a work order processing system that provides solve, starts the problem. They catch how you have to see the city of Indianapolis would be able to do is to use GIS as a tool. Connect the GIS to whatever model, energy, and cost. Another thing is runoff curve numbers, which is
look at these polygons. Look at all this science. You know, that we put some hard work into that. Your taxpayer dollars hard at work.
System so that we don't have
see all these numbers? They mean something.
Whatever. I started out water system.
Dude, you don't have to put this like rocket engineer BS. Just tell me how you're going to take care of the stormwater.
Number 659 by Councilor Gilmer.
All right.
Welcome to the 3rd Battalion.
All right, let me watch the end.
Of Decatur asked us to block off some no parking, so in case of an emergency, the vehicle can get through. And that takes a separate vote on 592.
Thank you. Without further objection, please cast your ballots on 592.
We vote on 5
on that, and we're
is there anybody else talking?
Up in my district.
All right. All right. So that was fun. It's kind of fun to watch. Okay, so you notice the quality of the video. It really doesn't get that much better. Not until like 2023. Okay, so when did Brainerd, or yeah, was it Ballard or Brainerd for who was the mayor of Indianapolis? Huh? Ballard. Okay, so Ballard, I want to see, when did he get voted in? 2004? Or 2008? I don't know. What did he? Let's see. I want to look at, okay, so the budget always gets introduced in August. Let's look at the August. Okay, so this is 2008. You saw in 1997. What the crap is this?
Is there any counselors that are not here this evening? I think all the chairs are filled. Huh? Yeah. So let the record show that all
This meeting room has not changed since 1997, except for like
29 counselors
the
are present.
TVs.
At this time, we'll do it
by making purchases that will benefit
organizers of a very successful ex-offender job fair, August 4th and 5th. So I'd like to.
Oh, there it is. Playing, man. I always want to see what their reactions are, how they, how they're
Councilor Scales.
Thank you. I would also like to recognize a constituent who's been very active in the community.
An unusual wit of his own. Gives me pleasure.
allowing me to sit this evening. So sorry for having to do that. Tonight I'm here to present.
Here we go.
Mr. President and City County Councilors, first of all, I want to thank you for the accommodations allowing me to sit this evening. So sorry for having to do that. Tonight I'm here to present the 2009 budget for the City of Indianapolis, and I am proud to say that it is a balanced budget,
Wow,
and a transparent budget that allows taxpayers to see how their dollars are being spent. It is a responsible budget that underscores my commitment to steering Indianapolis along a path to long-term sustainability. Part of putting us on the path to long-term sustainability was to cut millions of dollars from our budget. Although I consider this just a start, I am pleased tonight to report that we have done just that.
Like IMPD.
As many of you know, through our efforts at the State House,
is that what it was?
and with the help of members of the Indiana legislature from both sides of the aisle, approximately $30 million that was dedicated to public safety pensions has been cut from the operational budget and has been returned to Marion County taxpayers in the form of additional property tax relief. This budget also saves taxpayers $8 million in administrative costs, and by paying our bills on time and avoiding the bad habit of borrowing money just to meet unfunded operational costs, we are saving taxpayers $5 million more dollars. This is great news for Marion County citizens, but I will not be satisfied until our government is operating as efficiently as possible. However, this budget serves as a great starting point.
All right, moving on.
It is time to get back to.
All right, so that was 2000 and let's say 2009. So let's skip until 2012. August. Wow, that one's 3.5 hours. Obviously, we're not watching that, but.
If all counselors would please take their seats.
Maggie Lewis. When did Maggie Lewis become leader? Hold on. All right, let me see. August of.
The public could please take their seats. We'll go ahead and call to order.
Okay, so there would have been an election. 2012.
Thank you.
The red shirts out there. Look at this great quality video. Pixelated like a son of a bitch.
Members of the City County Council, good evening. On behalf of the city, I extend my deepest sympathies to the families and loved ones of those who lost their lives at the fairgrounds. Our thoughts and prayers are also with those injured as they continue their paths to recovery. And we express our deepest gratitude to the first responders, including our own 5% of the 2012 general fund budget. Police and firefighters will not be laid off. For those of you who would propose that we divert money from the Fiscal Stability Fund, the Citizens Transfer, or from Rebuild Indy, let me remind you that I stand firm behind my decision to preserve those dollars to maintain our AAA bond rating and to invest in our neighborhoods.
We got to make sure
making
that
progress
we can
on the condition
keep
of our roads,
borrowing,
our sidewalks,
keep
and our
borrowing.
parks. But there's more to be done.
Wait, did you hear something in the
We are
back?
focused on neighborhoods because while we're all proud of our
Hold on,
city,
there's something in the
we
back.
live in and love our neighborhoods. Fixing our roads, our sidewalks, and our parks strengthens our neighborhoods and forms the backbone of a revitalizing city. Others know it too. Forbes, while planning.
Ladies and gentlemen, pursuant to the laws of the state of Indiana, I cause to be published in the Court and Commercial Record and in the...
All right, that was, what, 2011? All right, let's do 2012. August of 12. All right, we're only watching that.
If all counselors would please take their seats. If all counselors would please take their seats, I will now call to order the City County Council meeting for August 13, 2012. We will begin our meeting with the...
Why was there no... were there two of them in 2020? No, that's weird. So was it in July? That's weird. Oh, why is there no budget? Well, let's go to 13. All right, there we go. All right, who do we recognize?
I will now call to order the City County Council meeting for Monday, August 19, 2013. We'll begin our meeting with a prayer and pledge of allegiance led by Councilor Moriarty. On our agenda is a presentation by the mayor of our great city, the Honorable Mayor Greg Loud.
And there's nobody there. Yeah, you can already tell it's headed downhill.
Thank you. Thank you. Madam President, members of the City County Council, and fellow residents of the city, I'm pleased to be here tonight. I have just come from visiting our firefighter, Chris McGrone, at IU Health Methodist Hospital, and I'm pleased to report that he looks to be healthy and in good spirits, or borrowing against future income or property tax
It's the
revenues.
same bit every time.
I want to thank President Lewis and Minority Leader.
My fellow councilors, I, with great hesitation, offer this motion, but I have watched with ever-quieting disconcern at the growing abuses of power.
What is this all about?
The failure to follow the rules, the failure to recognize members, the failure to follow proper procedure. I believe that it is time now for this council to have a debate about whether or not the current leadership of this council is appropriate. We face the challenge of a budget that is as difficult as any that this city has ever faced. We cannot do that with the doubts hanging as to whether or not the process will be fair,
this all about?
Objective, and appropriate. I move this proposal out of having a discussion that has taken place in private, but it needs to be moved into the light.
I'm going to
So I
clip
move
this
this
later.
proposal tonight so that this council may clear the air and move forward.
There's Leroy Robinson right there.
Additional comments from councilors? Seeing none, we'll proceed to the board for our vote. Green, if you support the motion that Councilor Mahern just made.
Okay, so we got Adamson, John Barth, I don't know who Brown is, Kane, Jared Evans most likely, I don't know. Aaron Freeman, Gooden, Gray, Hickman, Holiday, Mary Lewis, Lutz, Mansfield, Mascari's been in there, McHenry, Janice McHenry, McQuillan, Oliver, Leroy Robinson. That's all I recognize.
Red, if you...
What the crap? Why is it freezing? It's frozen. What is going on here? Hold on. Something get turned on? What the crap is going on? Oh, that's fine. Uh-oh. They found me, boys. They found me. Let's go back. 8/19/20, 2013. It was just getting good. What happened?
I will now call to order the City County Council meeting for...
Second.
There's been a motion and second. Are there comments from councilors? Councilor Mahern.
Okay, so wait.
Councilor Mahern.
Thank you, Madam President. I move to amend the agenda under new business by the addition of a motion to place on the agenda of the next regular meeting of this council on September 9th, 2013, a special order of business to remove the president of the council.
Oh, this is dude, they tried removing Maggie Lewis as president back in 2013. Was this guy helping Jesse Brown even back then? Hey, you know what? He was trying to help Jesse Brown run. He walked so Jesse Brown could run.
There's been a motion and second. Are there comments from councilors? Councilor Maher.
Appropriate.
Okay. Don't freeze up.
Takes 15 votes. What? Just a second. Everyone, Madam Clerk, will you clear the board? Are there questions regarding the motion? Councilor Oliver.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that this is what I'm doing.
Yes, Madam Chair, the spirit of the motion. I just sat through a 10-minute presentation by the Chief Executive, the Mayor, who he praises upon our sitting president and upon her working relationship with Minority Leader McQuillan. And to have this as a backdrop to that is highly insulting.
Shut the fuck up and just
vote. On the heels of him giving praise to the president, that members of his party, and of course, and another, chose to act in this fashion is highly insulting and degrading to his remarks that he gave to this whole body, giving praise to the relationship that we all must have to come up with a balanced budget, to balance the budget out with our revenues, and to have this as a backdrop is degrading, and it has a smell to it, a stinky smell.
It's got a stinky smell. I don't like the smell of it.
Motion. Councilor Barth.
Yeah. Since this is before us, I'm going to go ahead and make a few comments. The first is that, excuse me, it's been my honor to serve as Vice President to President Lewis. In my opinion, she has elevated the presidency of the council.
John Barth has always been a little bitch, hasn't he?
I think she has brought intelligence, grace.
All right, shut up and just vote, you fucking twat.
I don't think he wants to repeat it. Councilor Robinson.
I would ask Councilor Miller to let his vote reflect his comments.
Councilor Oliver.
Madam Chair,
what happened?
Madam President, whatever happens tonight, you are an awesome president. Thank you.
What is this guy crying? Are you crying? An elected official is crying?
Select the green button if, Councilor Miller, I apologize.
What is
Madam
going?
President, whatever happens tonight, you are an awesome president.
Councilor Gray. I don't think he wants to repeat it. Councilor Robinson.
I would ask Councilor Miller to let his vote reflect his comments.
Nope, still off. Why are we even talking about
there's
this?
Some whispering going on. Councilor Miller says something. He said something. I don't know if he was giving praise, like the mayor offended me, like some of my councilors are doing. I like to hear what his remarks said. I'm hard of hearing.
Yeah, well, maybe you shouldn't be in office then, huh? By the way, this is 2013. He just retired in 2023. Another 10 years of him not being able to hear.
That's okay. I heard what Councilor Miller said, and thank you.
I did not.
Oh, okay. Councilor Robinson.
He said, no matter what happens, you are an awesome president. That's what he said, and everybody's freaking out about it because she's like, hey, did you talk bad about a black woman? How dare you do that? You can't talk about my president that way. What are you talking about?
Thank you, Madam President. For Councilor Gray and Councilor Oliver, Councilor Miller clearly stated that Madam President is an awesome president, and I ask that his vote reflect her awesomeness. Thank you.
Who cares?
Councilor McQuillan.
Thank you, Madam President. Well, I too agree. You've had some awesome times. I must say that our committee-on-committee meeting last week, in which for the first time in the 45 years of Unigov, the minority party was stripped of not only committee assignments, but the ability to assign its own members to said committees.
Wow.
Something that's never happened before, something that was unheralded, really shook my faith in the current leadership. So I must support Councilor Mayhern's motion tonight to reconsider. Thank you.
Councilor Anderson.
Thank you, Madam.
Someone needs to turn their mics up.
I would like to say that earlier this year with the introduction of Senate Bill 621, there are a lot of unprecedented things going on.
Oh, yeah. Who cares?
Mr. President,
Councilor Gray.
you know, it appalls me that Councilman Quill can speak for 30-some years of what have happened in this council, and he only been here a few years himself. He can only speak for what happened since he's been here, not what has happened in the past. Having been a minority on this council long before he got here, when the numbers was 20 to 9, 20 to 5, the Democrats had no word or say so whatsoever
Shut
on
the
these committee
fuck up.
assignments and everything.
God, race
so for
baiting
him to
little
come in and
bitch.
say it ain't never happened before, it's ludicrous.
It's ludicrous. Well, okay, well, even back then, there weren't that never happened. Even when Republicans were a small minority in 2013, or even when Democrats were a small minority, apparently their committee assignments were not stripped.
Additional comments?
Just vote.
If you support, Councilor Robinson.
Councilor Miller, we're counting on you.
Shut up. Miller, vote.
I'm not going to ask for additional comments at this point. If you support Councilor Mayhern's motion, select the green button. If you disagree with Councilor Mayhern's motion, select the red button.
Jack Sandlin. Oh, Shreve's on there too.
Councilor Evans.
Jared Evans. Miller and Evans. Where's Mansfield at? You guys gonna vote? Okay. Oh, Miller, you pussy. Okay, so we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Is your button broken, Councilor? Okay, Councilor Evans, I'm going down the line. Thank you. The motion fails 11 to 17. I'm sorry. Signify by saying aye.
That's interesting. Is there a video of the committee on committees then? All right, hold on. Let's just go to Hogsett. All right, let's go to Hogsett's very first introduction of the budget back in 2017. Let's see how Thomas Cook, by the way, is in that video. He's sitting right next to him. Right here. This will be his first one because the election was there.
It's my pleasure to introduce the mayor of our great city, the Honorable Joseph H. Hogsett.
Okay, right there. There's Fady Kodora. There's Thomas Cook. All right, now he's going to be looking a little bit less red.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you all, and good evening. By law, it is my obligation to present to this body a proposed budget for the coming year. And tonight, I carry out that duty. By custom, it has become tradition to introduce such a budget with an accompanying message. And I have one. But out of deference to Leader Gray, I will be brief. Ladies and gentlemen of this...
Is that his wife right here? I looked at a couple other budget meetings and she was there.
August City County Council.
What does his wife look like?
Ladies and gentlemen present in this Assembly Hall tonight and to the people of Marion County. Tonight, I present to the Indianapolis-Marion County City County Council a structurally...
Look at Faded Kedora. He's got like dead eyes. He's like,
structurally balanced budget for 2018.
Hey, they got the TV going.
I submit a spending plan that, thanks to your work over the last 2 years, completely erases an annual structural deficit that has required our city leaders for the last decade to sell city assets, to rely on one-time cash infusion.
I don't care.
Increase those funds.
Care. It usually goes on for a little while. Something that I don't really care about to listen. Something's going on with it's not loading. Video is not loading. They must know we're watching right now, boys. They know that we're watching. All right, let's go. Okay, now let's go to 2019, because 2019 is what? Right before COVID. We'll go into the introduction of the budget, and then we'll go into March of 2020 when everything was about to go to shit. So this is 2 years later. You got the music playing.
The next item on our agenda is official communications.
There's Tom. I think it's Thomas Cook right there, or Fady.
With us the mayor of the city of Indianapolis, the Honorable Joseph H. Hogsett, to make his presentation of the city's proposed.
Wait a minute. When did VOP become leader? Hold on. This is important, actually. It had to have been 28 January, maybe, of 2019. Let's look at January 2019. Yeah, he would have been there for 2019. Let's look at January of 2018. Yeah.
I will now call to order the City County Council meeting for Monday, January 8, 2018.
All right, this is good.
We'll begin our meeting with a prayer and...
So together we present selfishly.
We'll proceed to the official communications. Madam Clerk.
Maggie A. Lewis.
I would like to nominate Pastor William Clay.
Okay. This is where things are, I think, might be getting interesting. I've heard about this lore with Stephen Clay, but I never actually looked at it. So we're all going to look at it together.
Thank you, Madam President. The first office for election for calendar year 2018 is election for President of the Council. I will now entertain nominations for that position. Councilor Evans.
Thank you, Mr. Biesecker. I'd like to nominate Madam President Maggie Lewis.
Mr. Biesecker. We have a nomination and a second for Councilor Lewis. Councilor Simpson.
Thank you, sir. I would like to nominate Pastor William Clay. Stephen Clay.
Was there a second?
I think that's Blake Johnson right there.
Are there any other nominations for President of the Council? Okay. If not, the chair will entertain a motion to close nominations.
Second.
All right. All those in favor of closing nominations, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And ayes have it. Nominations are now closed for president.
Okay, so now you have to vote.
All right, because we have two nominees. A green vote will indicate is a vote for Councilor Lewis. Red vote is a vote for Councilor Clay. So let's proceed.
Oh, okay. What do we got here, boys? So Mallory was already there, huh? Okay, so green is for Lewis and red is for Clay. You guys gonna vote or what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. Colleen Fanning, are you going to vote? McHenry, are you going to vote? Come on, quit goofing around.
Votes for vote is complete.
Hold on. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, boys!
All right.
Oh, actually, it says right there. Why was it even counting? I'm an idiot.
14 votes for Councilor Clay. 11 votes for Councilor Lewis. Councilor Clay, congratulations.
Leroy Robinson is so mad right now. Hey, that was Blake Johnson, right? Yeah, Blake Johnson voted for Maggie Lewis. Okay.
Congratulations. One Indianapolis for your vote. I'm hoping that as we move forward, that we can continue to look like tonight.
Their nomination. Okay, got it. I'm
Vice
sorry, I
President?
didn't.
Councilor Scott Kreider.
Kreider, thank you. Okay, got it. Councilor Mascari.
I'd like to nominate Zach Adamson for Vice President.
Of council.
Oh, there's 2 more. Oh, wait a minute. Who? Oh, Zach Adamson. Simpson wanted Zach Adamson.
All of us.
Trina DeBow has been nominated and seconded.
To be a temporary clerk of the council.
Is there a second? All right. Are there any other nominations for clerk of the council?
McQuillan, I'm sorry, I was making her temporary.
I use the word temporary because I assume the new president will want to find time to interview and secure a clerk, and I think it's important we have continuity and have someone in that position who has been there for 20 years and knows what's going on. So that's why I use the word temporary. Maybe that was an incorrect use of the word. I guess my statement is I move her to be the clerk, and we'll see what happens.
McQuillan, like a kind of a shit starter, huh?
Well, I believe the statute and the rules both indicate that the election of the clerk is to be done at the first council meeting of the year. The ayes have.
Who do I call him? Mr. Biesecker, may I call for a recess?
I'm sorry?
May I call for a recess?
Sure, you can move for a recess.
Move for a recess.
Is there a second motion for recess? All right, we have a motion and a second for a recess. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. Those opposed?
That's so funny. So they're like, shit.
No, sir.
Okay, so this is what I heard. I heard that I don't know if it's true or not, by the way, but I heard Stephen Clay was wanting to give Republicans chair positions because obviously this was it was more Democrat leaning, but it wasn't a full supermajority at this time. And so when Clay got voted in as president, the council, he was like, you know what? You help me out, I'm going to help you out. Now, I don't know if any of that is true, but I would not. So this was January of 2018, but there's a bunch of drama that had happened. Then I think during the fall is when everything started happening.
We will.
Okay. So VOP is already president right there. Okay, so that was September. Let's do July. Okay, so VOP is there. Also, what I heard was Stephen Clay like fired somebody and then that really pissed Maggie Lewis off. Like I said, these are all rumors that I heard. I was not around during that time. Yeah, music.
I will now call to order the City County Council meeting for Monday, April.
Okay, that is really early. All right, so February then. That's what I heard, Schadenfreude.
For their commitment and service to our city.
Oh, okay. All right, that's February 19th. There's Brian Mowry. All right, so that's February 19th of 2018. Let's do February 28th.
I'll now call to order the special meeting of the City County Council for Wednesday, February the 28th, 2018. We will begin the meeting with prayer and pledge of allegiance by Councilor McHenry.
Largest movement, and look at not just.
Oh, thank you. Good enough. Will all councilors please select the green button to indicate your attendance?
The TV's not working. Wow, so Jennifer Ruth Green is leaving Braun's Secretary of Public Safety, which is really funny because you remember what the hell is her name, like Big Booty or something? And I thought it was a DEI hire, to be honest with you. What the hell is her name? Romper, that's what it was. Yeah. Jennifer Ruth Green, aka Romper, has stepped down as let me post this up real quick. Romper is down. Romper is down. All right, what the freak is going on here?
Employees right now. He is
visitors to be excused. Councilors Clay, members present this evening, Councilors Clay and Fanning have asked to be excused. Now, the next item on the agenda is introduction of guests and visitors. Councilors? Councilor McCullen.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to introduce a man, a city employee who is probably one of the hardest working city employees right now. He is the liaison to the 25 of us for the Department of Public Works. His phone rings constantly, but he took a moment to be down here today. Mr. Steve Hardiman.
What for? Cool.
All right, very good. The next item on the agenda is official communications.
Council.
With consent, Mr. President, I would like to take proposal number 58 through 60, 2018 together.
Consent.
The Administration and Finance Committee meeting met on Tuesday, February the 27th, 2018 to consider these proposals. The proposal to reappoint County Clerk Mila Eldridge, County Treasurer Claudia Fuentes, and Sheriff John Layton, for which Colonel Louis Desin served as a proxy to the Information Technology Board, on which they serve by.
I don't care.
We can do the next group. 2018 proposal of audit.
Vote.
Number 88, introduced by Councilors Osley and Adamson, referred to the Public Works Committee.
Business, there is no.
Johnson, in memory of Anna Maria Fernandez.
I don't know what the hell the point of that was, but whatever. Okay, so somewhere in between February 19th, I don't understand what happened.
I will now call to order the February 19th regular meeting of the City County Council and Special Service District Councils of Marion County and Indianapolis. We will begin the evening.
What, Monroe Gray was the vice president at the
with
time,
prayer
too?
And pledge of allegiance.
That's so weird.
Forward.
Made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Wait a minute, what the hell just happened?
contentious disagreements
Oh.
to a special comment.
Communications.
Okay, here
Thank
we
you,
go.
Madam Clerk. With a point of personal privilege, I would like to make this comment before we proceed. In an effort to preserve this institution and to advance the people's agenda, Councilor Osley and I have agreed to the orderly transfer of power. I will support Councilor Osley's candidacy. My letter of resignation from the office of the President will be presented tonight here at the full Council, at which time we will suspend the rules and proceed to a special election. Tonight, I will call upon Democrats and Republicans to support this transition, thus averting any political filibustering. This agreement is in the best interest of moving this branch of government forward. These last several weeks have proven that this council has great resilience and great capacity to get things done. The council has proven that we can have robust and vigorous debates, we can have even contentious disagreements, and somehow find common ground to move the people's agenda forward. Tonight, we begin that process of moving forward. Madam Clerk, I deliver for your certification my official resignation as President of the City County Council, and as such, I give the gavel to the parliamentarian of order tonight, Mr. Andy McMullen. Point of order. Point of order.
Councilor Robinson.
Shouldn't the Vice President receive the gavel as opposed to the parliamentarian? The elected Vice President, Zach Adamson.
Rules of council procedure require that in the absence of the president, the vice president of the council takes the presidency, serves as president.
Thank you, Mr. Parliamentarian.
Yeah. Leroy Robinson, then he's like, wait a minute, I think I know the rules. And then council has to be like, actually, you don't know the rules. Zach Adamson takes president, and then apparently Bob takes over right after that? What are you guys clapping about?
Mr. Majority Leader.
A motion to permit office or corporate counsel to staff the position of parliamentarian on February 19, 2018. Make a motion to permit office or corporate counsel to staff the position of parliamentarian on February 19, 2018.
Second.
The motion has been made and properly seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. The parliamentarian shall be Mr. Andy Mallon. Moving on to the adoption of the agenda.
Mr. President.
Councilor Johnson.
Mr. President, I move to amend the agenda to add the election of a new council president immediately after the adoption of the agenda.
Second. The motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed?
Mr. President.
Mr. Johnson.
I move that we adopt the agenda as amended.
The motion has been made and seconded to adopt the agenda as amended. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. The agenda is amended.
A pudgy little guy back then, huh? The agenda.
We will now move to the election of the president of the city council. I'll turn this over to the parliamentarian. And I've been informed we need to do consent to allow the parliamentarian to conduct this election.
No
Do I have
love at
consent?
all.
Consent.
I heard this apparently was like a huge thing that had happened. And when I first got into the politics stuff in Indianapolis, I had heard about it, and I couldn't get a straight answer from anybody what the whole lore was until like a year ago. And then I got a lot more information on it, and it was basically just a big old, that's what it was from what I was told, was Clay wanted to bring in Republicans to chair committees. Democrats were pissed off about it, and then there was a giant mutiny.
Thank you, councilors. I would entertain nominations for the president of the council. Councilor Lewis.
Thank you, Mr. Mallon. I nominate Councilor Bob Osley for the president position.
It has been moved. Oh, sorry.
Yes, it has been moved and seconded. Are there any other nominations? Councilor Robinson?
Mr. Mallon, I move to close the nominations.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to nominate Councilor Osley as president of the council. It has also been moved and seconded to close nominations. The effect of closing nominations with only one candidate will have the effect of electing Councilor Osley as the president. All those in favor of closing nominations and thereby electing Councilor Osley as president, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, say nay. The ayes have it.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And me?
Over administrative education.
2018, 2020. Thank you.
Okay, so that was it. All right, so that was the drama that happened. Like, so Philip Clay was only president for just over a month. And then it looks like there was a giant mutiny that happened. All right, so we got to go back real quick to August of 2017. We have to look at what Hogsett looks like then. Oh, wait a minute. We got to do one more. We got to do March of 2020. There's the community response to COVID.
Good evening. I will now call to order the City County Council meeting for Monday.
You can tell how bad the graphics are, by the way.
March 16th, 2020.
The state of Indiana. For this case that the individual died, we could not identify any outside travel history, nor could we connect this particular individual to any infected case of coronavirus, either here in the state or anywhere else. So we're making the assumption that we now have a community spread of this virus. And because of
they're going to look back at this,
that helped to precipitate
and be like, you guys shut down the entire world.
Restrictions that we put in
this
place
bullshit.
Based on the recommendations from Centers for Disease Control and medicine. Our goal is to really help each other out.
Thank you, Dr. Kane.
If it's enough in the ground level with your constituents, we don't hear it as much. We hear the medical questions, but you hear all the other aspects of their life.
Department of Health and Human Services policies, things impacting unemployment claims, insurance claims. And as many of you know, we have many of those are moving targets right now. In some cases, they're changing hour to hour. We're trying to anticipate what these changes will be.
Just the biggest clusterfuck. So anyway, I checked the dates on it. So they closed down March of 2020, and then they weren't even back in the city-county building until June of 2021. All right, so let's go back to August of 2017. We're going to look at what Hogsett looks like then, and then we're going to go to what it was a month ago. Oh, I forgot the city-county meetings on Monday, too. I'll be there. You guys know I'll be there. Live reporting. We'll see if the Republicans have a ball sack. All right, let's look at Hogsett one more time. That's wrong one. August of 2017. There we go. All right.
It's my pleasure to introduce the mayor of our great city, the Honorable
of this august city county council.
All right. That's what it looks like in 2017. His very first budget. And then let's look at it. What happened about a month ago? As yours truly was there.
Our first order.
Look how better the camera quality is too.
We will hear from our mayor, the Honorable Joseph H. Hogsett, to make his presentation of the city's proposed 2026 budget. Please
Okay, look at all the signs, by the way. I was over here.
welcome the Honorable Mayor Joseph H. Hogsett.
This is your vice president, by the way. You went from Zach Adamson into this lady who doesn't even have the common decency to wear a jacket to cover up her tattoos. That's funny that Brian Mowry is not standing up.
Thank you.
All right, I see Hoss and I see Eddie Hager.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, I should have screenshotted it. Hold on.
President Osley, Vice President Brown, Leaders Lewis and Mowry, members of this distinguished council. First, I'd like to start by thanking all of you for your involvement in this year's budget preparation. The financial proposal for 2026 that I present to you this evening has been developed by this administration after close communication about council priorities.
All right. Hold on.
Of course, it also reflects a longstanding priority of this administration, strong fiscal discipline. Since 2016, we together have passed.
What? I was at the last one too. 2024. I think there were signs back then too.
The next item on our agenda is official communications, and we are honored this evening to have with us
Oh yeah, because there's Lauren Roberts and the other chick. I was there for this one. Don't worry, boys and girls. This is where it gets real fun. Especially like over here in this corner, a guy gets kicked out.
Good evening. President Osley, Leaders Lewis, for the city, people who serve our residents, the needs of our city. Significant, 0.2% from this very same day 1 year ago. But we're not looking to ride on the coattails to keep coverage federal on police, recruit, continue to support and pedestrian safety infrastructure, or was all include, took off 25 miles on more, $18 million reserve Union Station.
Hold on, I'm trying to find it.
Leasing opportunity, notably, deserve the attention and resources afforded to every salary and benefit had to endure completely unacceptable and reprehensible conduct in gay employees with us tonight. I want to tell you both, and I appreciate, and to retaliate that you in vain. HR professionals, all that matters. And self felt did not feed earlier conduct like this. And for that matter, made available to all new employees upon hiring.
Buddies in the chat, let's go.
We will, beginning this year, make the more extensive training, historically provided only to supervisors, mandatory on a recurring basis for every employee of this enterprise. In this way, every single...
Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, here we go. You ready, boys? You ready? Right over here, you're going to see a guy get removed. And look at the face of everybody. Look at the face of Chris Bailey when he first starts screaming. Everybody looks behind them, but not the IMPD chief.
Acceptable behavior.
Our taxes paid to assault these women. They're paying for Israelis to assault people in Israel. This is bullshit. I don't want my taxes spent to assault women. I don't want to assault people in Israel.
Mayor, no. There's going to be one person speaking in this room at any given time. Another interruption, and you will be removed. Mr. Mayor, please continue.
But a workplace where employees are better protected also requires a better reporting system.
All right. Well, there we go. There's that. So the last two budgets, he's had a whole lot of heat from the people outside. No shocker there, to be honest with you. All right. So real quick, before we end this show, I want to talk about something real quick. Somebody brought something up to Indie Reporter yesterday. And they said, look at SB 128, which is now law. Because that's not what I wanted. This. Oh, nope. All right. Hold on. Let me find a different. Oh, no, there is a thing I want to talk about. There we go. All right. Okay. SBA, and now it's SEA 128. All right, enacted in 2017, often referred to blah, 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 is authored by Mesmer and Mike Braun, and authorized the creation of the regional development authorities in Indiana, such as Mid-States Corridor, RDA, to help local communities work together with the Indiana Department of Transportation to plan, finance, and expedite regional transportation infrastructure projects. That is the most important part. Now, why do I say that? Because who was the other person that was part of it? Mike Braun. Mike Braun. So if you go into the website of the Mid-States Corridor, you will see all the maps. Where is the? There was another map. Oh, right here. This is the one I wanted to look at. Now, where does this go through? It goes through Jasper, Indiana. Now, do you know where Meyer Distributing is at? Mike Braun's business, Jasper, Indiana. So the Mid-States Corridor goes through Jasper. Wow, that's really interesting, right? For Meyer Distributing. And what did that bill talk about? Help local communities work together in Indiana to develop for INDOT to plan, finance, and expedite regional transportation infrastructure projects. So weird that one of the people that was part of that bill would benefit the most from it. Now, what's really funny is that this also goes through DuBois County, if I remember right. And DuBois County, I think INDOT, the people in DuBois County did not want INDOT going onto their property and surveying for this Mid-States Corridor. Well, there was just a ruling, I think like the other week, where the courts were on the side of INDOT, basically told them, actually, you can go on private property and do your survey. I don't think I have the... Do I have the thing? Mid-States Corridor. Edwin Cox. Yeah, this guy we have to pay attention to. Boys and girls, we have a mission. We have to look into this guy. Edwin Simcox. That is the goal. We have to look into this guy. No, the helipad. No, so that bill was back in 2017. This was right before he was going to run for Senate. Yeah, this one right here. Senate Bill 128. Now, I wanted to see, okay, so this is back in 2017. Who voted no against it? Just Democrats, no Republicans. 46. And what about only Vernon Smith voted against it? So, this was a bipartisan thing. Everybody wins from it. I'm not going back in time and watching the videos, but like I said, I just wanted to point this out. We have to, I was told to look into this guy. It'll be interesting. Well, let me see. Okay, so. Okay. Okay. So we have to look into this guy because this guy might be involved with some stuff that that I want to know about. Just to let you know. So that's what we got to do. What do you guys want to do? I was going to do a video, by the way, on this. Do you guys know about the new indie economic development? I'm going to do a video. I'll explain this a little bit more, but here's the high points of it. So there's a new thing called the indie economic development. It's basically replacing Develop Indie, but it's got different leadership in it. Now, one of the people that are... So Develop Indie was getting $1 million from the city, from your taxpayers, from your money. $1 million annually for economic development services through the Department of Metropolitan Development, DMD, and BNS. The standalone corporation's budget for 2025 is expected to be $3 to $4 million. So what ended up happening is that they said, we're going to shift our plan and we're going to call something called Indie Economic Development. Now, this is basically another IADC. In fact, in the contract for this, they said that there's a market research services for not to exceed amount of $2 million for the year 2024 and 2025, and further authorize the DMD to allocate traditional funding up to $1 million annually through the year 2027. Now, this is actually where it gets a little bit scary, because in here, it actually talks about one of the things. So, economic development tools and incentive programs recommend the creation of a new economic development tool and incentive program, such as a local edge. Now, the EDGE program is actually an IADC idea. See if I could find it. Definitions of funds, and then find EDGE. Boom, boom. Where is it? Yeah, there it is. Economic development for a growing economy. The EDGE tax credit program is for job retention as an incentive that is rarely offered. The purpose of EDGE retention is to encourage a company to remain in Indiana and not relocate, thereby existing jobs and blah, blah, blah. There are limited funds available for these. The company is required to remain in Indiana to keep the incentives. Now, I think we have to look at the EDGE, the people that received EDGE. What the hell is going on here? Why can't I, there it is. Okay, let's look at the people that got an EDGE tax credit. Hopefully it'll load. We got 3,400 results that had an EDGE tax credit. But for some reason, they put in here, you know, this is a rare thing, right? Very funny. Okay, so the other part of this, and this is where my biggest bitch is at. I mean, other than the whole thing. But there was... Proactive. Oh, yeah. Fundraising and resource attraction. Lead efforts to secure external resource, e.g. corporate giving. So corporations will give money to indie economic development, which, by the way, is a nonprofit. Now, I wouldn't have a problem with that stuff happening. My biggest problem is that we're giving taxpayer dollars. If you're going to say, hey, we need to have some additional funding, aka corporate giving, that will definitely smell to me of corruption, which, you know, we all hate corruption, right? This is where things are going to get a little wild for me, because who's running the IED? Funny how they almost name it too, right? All right, so the chairman is obviously Hogsett, the treasurer Gordon Brooks, the secretary is Brandy Davis Handy, who is the president of AES Indiana. And I've brought this up a bunch of times. Who is going to benefit the most off of the data centers? All the electric companies, all the utilities, because now you're going to have to not just update all these utility, you know, whatever they got going on, but also the wiring, all the transmission lines. Why do I hate this the most? Jim Schellinger, who used to be the president of the IEDC, is now the president and CEO of IED, the Indie Economic Development. And if you remember, I had that video out there on Indie Reporter showing that how he was pushing for the Franklin Township Data Center. Scumbag all around. And then saying, it's like, hey, you know, $1.5 billion, that's a lot of money, you know? Hey, sure, we don't know what the environmental impacts are. Sure, we don't know what the water management is going to be like. But, you know, we're going to have to push forward so we can find out. Hey, you know, to me, he's saying, hey, you know what there? You got to crack a few eggs and make an omelet. And then everybody else on here, who knows? This is going to be very shady, though, and I'm not a fan of it. You shouldn't have to pay people to be here. People are gonna want to be here. If you want to give, I'm not a big fan of the edge tax credit because it seems like it's basically like bartering or a ransom. Either you give us a tax credit or we're gonna leave. What they're saying. Contract amount $2.9 million, wherever this is at. All right, let's look at the Exhibit A. Remember Exhibit A if it actually has one? Underneath that, for Brad Chambers was the Secretary of Commerce at the time. Okay, here we go. Capital investment of the entire project is $1.5 million. Commencement date, first eligible tax year, blah, 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 blah. Maximum credit amount shall mean no more than $2.9 million. Also, the minimum wage commitment to be $13 per hour. $13.24 per hour. That's so funny. So they're saying you have to commit into the investment of $1.5 million, and then we'll give you a $2.9 million tax credit. Who, Jim Schellinger was born in LaPorte? You know, actually, someone from like LaPorte, Make LaPorte Great Again Facebook page, they were bitching about Dermody. So I put on there, boys, like, maybe I'll just carpet bag and move to LaPorte and run against Dermody. That would be really funny. What's the page 1 of 20? So there's 20 pages. Let's look at the oh, wait a minute. Let's look at the contract amount. That's where we really want to be at, homie. Wow, $56 million. Oh, wow, from 2019. Okay, so the guy who helped get Infosys here, Jim Schellinger, also has the highest edge tax credit for $56.5 million. Fuck this guy. Oh, Simcox, okay. Like, we're going to bring all these people. We don't know if they're going to be Americans having these jobs. We might bring in a bunch of H-1B workers. But we're also going to give you minimum wage commitment shall mean $11 per hour. Wasn't there an article where the minimum amount had to be like $18 an hour? After the reporting period. Okay, so after the eligibility, which will be ending next year, the maximum credit amount shall mean no more than $56.5 million. Didn't I? Okay. Okay. Hold on. Roberts. Infosys. Okay, yeah. They also had a $10 million, what was this? IDGF. IDGF, huh? I'm going to say it's like Indiana Development, something. Surprised they don't have like the acronyms on. I don't know. We'll see. Designed to support new job creation and investment in Indiana. Preference is given to projects which have a substantial impact in Indiana's economic climate. So who was the... It should have the guy who runs IADC. Okay. Fede Cadora. That's for. So he hasn't been a senator for that long. A budget agency. That's just for Indianapolis. Where's the signature of the president of the IADC? All right, what other? So he had like, that's $10 million, right? That's 10. 17. He had over $63 million of tax incentives or tax breaks or something to help bring in Infosys. What's the hold on. They have a deal where they have to make a minimum amount. Demolition site prep, demolition. Well, milestone 2, milestone 3. Is per that development. So basically, taxpayers were funded. Grantee may request over $1 million out of free. Okay. So basically, the taxpayers looks like they funded this entire project. Bunch of bullshit as usual, but expect more of it. That's the problem. Expect way more of it because we had the former IEDC president now running IED. I don't know. We'll see what happens, right? We'll have to keep an eye on Jim Challenger for sure. Actually, you know what? I have let me look up one more thing. Boom, boom, boom. I have an IBJ subscription. I should be able to look this guy up. Haha. Okay, here if Jones plans $18 million expansion, new distribution. Okay. To replace develop Indy, which we saw last year. Okay. So, Herf Jones, what does Jim has? Okay, so Herf Jones unveiled plans Monday for an $8 million investment expected to create 40 jobs. The project will include new distribution, blah, 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 found in da, 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 da. Okay, we are proud to deepen our roots in Indianapolis. While we are focused on operational efficiency, Herf Jones is first committed to honoring our legacy. Da, 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 da. We are proud to support the spokesman. First, okay, so they got a personal property tax abatement valued at $350,000 over a 7-year period. That's the whole thing, though. That's the only way that the company reported revenue 7,000 employees. So they own it. Okay, so basically they'll move unless you give me a property tax abatement. Personal property tax abatement at that. So what is 350 over 7 years then? Let me get my trusty calculator out. $50,000 a year. That's really nothing if you're bringing a bunch of money. So, I don't know. But anyway, that's all I really got. Make sure you check out on Tuesday at 8 o'clock p.m. for the Whitty Reviews show. Have no idea what I'm talking about. Maybe I'll be talking about Micah again and then things that are going on with lawsuits. So, you guys have a great night.